You're just a casual.
Yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of the Casual Experts Podcast. And today we have the Fighting Pride of Philadelphia with us. Gabe Rosado. What's cracking, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling, bro.
Thank you so much for coming out in the rain.
No doubt, no doubt.
It was thundery.
Yeah, the weather's crazy out here.
Zeus was tripping. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
You know what, though, bro? It's like, I'm used to that. Because I'm from Philly, so we're used to
It's rainy as hell?
Yeah, it rains a lot in Philly and thunderstorm, all that. So when we get that out here, I'm like, it's like fresh.
You feel at home?
Yeah, I like it. Nobody could drive out here, though, when it rains. People act like it's the worst.
It acts like it's the worst.
Yeah. Everybody starts to drive slow.
Yeah.
Does it snow in Philly?
Hell yeah, bro. We get blizzards.
That's crazy.
It was probably the worst winter this year. One of the worst. It snowed a lot in Philly, bro. But that's part of the reason why I left and moved to LA. Like, I've been to LA. Yeah. I think I've lived here over 10 years now. Yeah, like I think I'm going on 11.
You got tired of shoveling snow?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I moved out here 2014.
That's tight.
It wasn't even. Yeah, shoveling snow sucks. When you wake up in the morning, you can't. You gotta heavy up, run outside, turn your car on. First, you got break the ice on your windows. Then you got to turn your car on, put the heater on. Then you got to go back inside the crib so that your car warms up.
Yeah.
So then you drive off. I was like, bro, that's brutal.
We do like that here when it's cold, and it's not nowhere near as cold.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. The walkway to your car frozen.
Yeah.
So you got tickets on that thing.
That's the videos everyone slipping in their driveway on the ring and shit.
I'm saying East Coast winters are vicious, bro.
Crazy.
Do you miss it?
Nah.
He said,
I don't, bro. I don't. The only time I like to see snow is like if me and wifey go to Big Bear. Let's go to Big Bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see some snow. It's like, all right, we want to see snow, but it's like, nah,
you
bro.
live near your studio?
Huh?
I'm not gonna disclose where that is.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
we go to Mount Baldy. Me and my family go to Mount Baldy, which is 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Because you could get snowed in Big Bear too, player.
Oh yeah.
Right
sure.
here, you could get snow a lot, but you're not gonna get snowed in. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't mind snow when I want to see snow. Like if I want to go snow.
Oh, if you're gonna go to the cabin,
if I'm doing something like that, like going to the cabin, it's like, all right, whatever. But to wake up in the mornings and have to deal with snow and nah, man, and the cold, I'm good.
Have you ever been to Paris?
Yeah.
You're going to Paris, big dog.
Yeah. I was out there like around the time when it was like Fashion Week, so it was like a dope time to be out there.
What do you wear at Fashion Week?
I didn't go to Fashion Week. I just so happened to go. I mean,
what do we wear at Fashion Week? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, but it was dope, man. It was a vibe out there. You know what I mean?
That's tight.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with this guy? Are you really gonna fight, or is that
That's
just,
where I was wanting to start at.
or is that just talk?
No, man. I think I think it's something where if it makes sense, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
How does it make sense for you at this point?
Well,
go ahead.
Bouncing off that, it's like the Berlanga fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, who was calling for? Was he calling it, or were you're calling, or you're just trying to throw something out there?
No, the way the Berlanga situation happened, it was happening when he was first coming up. You know what I'm saying? And then he was calling me out. And then I think at that time, like I was fighting Jacobs, I was fighting Bekdemir, I fought Munguia. So I was kind of like
You were fighting.
Yeah, I was having big fights at the time. So he was just fighting like
He was
regular.
He was like a prospect coming up.
Yeah, so it was like I was like, why am I gonna fight this kid? Obviously, he made a name for himself now. You know what I mean? And he put on an okay performance against Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things where he told me, yo, after Canelo, we gonna fight. So I called him out on it, but he never made it happen. But it is what it is.
Honestly,
I think his father was like, we don't want to fight another Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But then he's fighting a Puerto Rican.
Undercarding it.
Yeah.
So
he's fighting a Puerto Rican in Orlando.
Yeah.
So, we were trying to make the fight happen in Puerto Rico. We figured, two Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico.
Huge.
The young star against the OG. Yeah. All right, let's go.
But that for me, that made more of a sense, especially like if he's not getting a Caleb Plant fight, if he's not getting a Charlo fight, or like any of those big names, then why not?
For sure.
Why not go against? You have a big name too. So in Puerto Rico, Berlanga, Rosado, in Puerto Rico, instead of where he's at right now.
Yeah,
that fight he's at right now, to me, it don't make sense. I don't know behind the scenes, or I don't know what's going on, but it's an undercard in Florida. Like, it don't make sense.
Well, he's fighting I think pretty much what it is just a fight to stay active, because I think so headline in Puerto Rico, I think maybe he was asking for way too much. You know what I'm saying? And then, Matchroom was like, look, we're not paying that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming. Where they were like, look, we just keep you busy. We put you on this undercard. And then after that,
crazy,
then,
to me, it's crazy because you're not capitalizing off a Canelo fight.
But you know what? No, I wouldn't say it's crazy. Like, for me, thinking for myself, obviously, I'm like, fight me in Puerto Rico, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm being a manager and I'm managing Berlanga, I'm gonna go the route that he's going right now, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's stay active. We looked okay against Canelo. Let's stay active. Let's beat this guy right here, and then now we put ourselves in position to fight a plant or whatever. Because the thing is this: like in boxing, man, is a art to matchmake. You can't fight Canelo and then right after Canelo fight Plant. You can't fight Canelo and then right after that fight Munguia. That's not how it works. That's the way I did my career.
Yeah.
I was fighting everybody, and I've always said it was, it's part of with Canelo. I was with Canelo once.
So you were risk taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how you got your fans, and that's
but I guess that's. It's funny. Like the last talk I did with Abner, we talked about how every fighter has their unique thing, and Floyd Mayweather, what worked for him was the O. Yeah. And he knew how to promote the O.
Exactly.
But everybody forgets when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, and he was being Corley, Shabbe Mitchell, Manfredi, Corrales. He earned the right to promote the O.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's what works for Floyd. And I think everybody has a unique thing, like what works for them. And I think what worked for me really is not something you see in boxing, period, where it's like, yo, I fight everybody.
Yeah.
But then win, lose, or draw, I'm still back on a big fight. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Which
like
is fire.
And no one cares. No one goes like, oh, well, Gabe's record is blah, blah, blah. It's like no one even care about that. Gabe was like, oh man, that fight with you know what I mean, Gabe and Munguia, that fight was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was at that fight actually.
Yeah, that fight was crazy, right? I was supposed to box that night, bro. But the atmosphere, I was like, nah, man. the game was out the window, bro.
We're just putting it in.
Yeah.
Not that. But when you go to a fight, that's what I want to see. I'm there to see combat sports. I'm here to see a boxing fight. And yeah, I understand there's different fighters, and which makes boxing perfect. But when it comes down to it, you're there to fight. So who you're fighting, when you're fighting, and that's how you should take it. And so that's how I looked at the Berlanga fight. Is after fighting Canelo, the next fight. You're gonna take a fight to get back into action, but it should be a main event. Like you're building off of one of the biggest stars. Now you just fought one of the biggest stars in boxing, and you're going around and celebrating because
he was celebrating a loss. But
it's like
he made his own parade, so he didn't give him a parade. He made his own parade.
He celebrated the bag, right?
Yeah, he celebrated the bag. So he won. He did win.
Yeah,
he celebrated the bag.
But like I'm saying, that goes to my point, right? Like after doing all of that, and then now you're on the undercard.
And I feel you, but. Let's go back to Chavez, and let's go back to Trinidad, and let's go back to Barrera. How many undercards they fought on?
Oh yeah,
when they were stars. How many Chavez used to be co-main on Mike Tyson cards?
Yeah, but
Chavez
under a bigger star.
But still, though, it's still like Chavez is Chavez. Like Chavez already had a name where he was the mega star, where he would do pay-per-view numbers. But
those cards were like the May 2nd card, right?
Those were stacked.
Those are stacked cards. Like you're looking at the May 2nd card, you're looking at
Honor King cards, right?
Yeah. Honor Barbosa and Teofimo.
Yeah.
They're not the main event. But they can be made anywhere else. But the main event is Ryan Garcia. He's one of the biggest names in the sport. So and that makes sense, right? Because you're on a bigger, because now you're gonna get more attention.
For sure.
But the card in Florida, like,
for sure. I get what you're saying 100%, but I think like his team is looking at it more at the aspect of the long run.
Yeah, I get it.
So like it could be real dangerous to be the main event, because the problem is when you're the main event, you're gonna have to fight a challenge.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, how much fun did he have after that bad with Canelo? And maybe Gabe Rosado wasn't the right fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look, man, dudes make that kind of money A lot changes. The lifestyle changes. You know, you ain't running when you're supposed to be running. And you know what? Here's the thing and this is a mistake I made a lot in my career where, you know, you get a big fight, you get a bag, and you play until it's camp time. And then when it's camp time, you're playing catch up.
Yeah.
And catch up sucks, bro, because you out of shape. Everybody's beating you up and sparring because you literally killing yourself to make the weight now because you put all that weight. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. So, you know.
That's how injuries happen. Yeah.
So maybe he had too much fun and they're like, okay, you're not ready for a main event right now. And they're like, okay, we're gonna get you the right fight.
Yeah, and it's his team looking out for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't be mad at that.
No.
So I think that's more of a strategic.
No, I get it. I'm just talking from
I feel you.
From a fan sitting like there wanting to see.
Sure.
And then also like, you know, like I tend to be a little bit biased when it comes to my Boricuas and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm half, but like.
Oh, you have Boricua?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
So like I'm a little biased.
So you Boricua on what?
My mom's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mom was born in Brooklyn, and my grandparents are from Aguadilla.
Okay, dope.
So like I'm a little biased. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I grew up leaning towards that side because, you know, I'm a mama's boy, and then my dad's Mexican, so you tend to go against your dad a little bit.
That's
so
crazy.
Like that's just how it is. You know? But I tend to lean towards that side a little bit, so I want to see him kind of capitalize on that. But
and look, as much as I've called him out and he's called me out and we talk trash about each other, at the end of the day, I want to see him succeed. Yeah. I want to see him do good. I see him, you know what I mean? I see myself in him when I was that age. You know what I'm saying? And is you know, boxing is just one of those sports, man, where you just gotta have the right people around you and make sure you don't get too big headed. Yeah, because it's easy to get big headed
for sure
in the game, man. Because come on, bro, we punching people in the face for a living. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you got a whole different. Your ego is way different, man. So if you don't got somebody to check you and just keep you on point, you know, that's why a lot of dudes crash out. You know what I mean? Because it's like they don't know how to turn that switch off. They 45 years old acting like they 20. You know what I mean? They never knew how to just adapt. You know what I'm saying?
In a realistic situation, who do you think wins that fight?
Who?
You and Berlanga.
Yeah, you know what, man?
Or what do you do to win that fight? Because of course you want yourself to win. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. You know, I think the style that Canelo presented against Berlanga was like Canelo pretty much played catch and shoot with him. So Canelo just put his hands up, let him shoot, catch, fire, catch, fire, catch, fire, right? So, you know, I don't think Berlanga really has the experience yet to really think in there.
To combat that.
Because he didn't understand that. He didn't understand what Canelo was doing to him. And Canelo pretty much, no disrespect to Berlanga, but Canelo pretty much fought him like a sparring match. It was literally a sparring session. Like, that's what I do sometimes in sparring matches. You know, when you're really feeling it, you just kind of walk up to a guy and you're so comfortable. You're so comfortable because you already know that this dude's got one speed. You know, in baseball, what makes it so hard to hit a pitcher? If he got to have a curveball, he got to have a splitter, he got to have a slider, right? But if a dude just throwing gas, fastball, you're going to time that. You know what I mean? Yep. And you're going to hit a grand slam, right? So I think that's how Berlanga fights. Everything's a fastball. He don't understand speeds. He don't understand how to switch it up. He don't understand how to make those adjustments. So really, I think it's just a matter of experience. You know what I mean? You could just beat him off experience.
So just straight ring IQ.
Ring IQ. Because, you know, not that he's a dumb fighter, but at the end of the day, man,
you're just way more experienced.
The thing is, like, you don't learn these things in the gym. You learn these things in fights. Level of competition. Like, Canelo became so much of a better fighter after he lost to Floyd. Yeah. Because he took so much off Floyd. You know what I mean? He added it to his game.
Yeah, you see his head movement after that fight. His head movement is...
Yeah, so it's like, you know what I mean? I would think that Berlanga would pick up some traits from the Canelo fight now. So I would expect him to be a little bit better now. You know what I'm saying? And know how to switch up speeds. That's what I would expect. You know what I mean?
So that's what you're looking at this next fight.
Yeah, for sure.
What he learned.
For sure, definitely.
This is gonna be off topic, like way off topic, but how the did you get casted to be in that movie?
Creed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that bro, that was like
That's fire. Just
yeah. That was like destined to be type stuff, bro. It was destined to be because the way I got that was because I was just chilling in Miami on a family trip, and then I get a call from an agent. And he's like,
your agent or
no,
agent?
I was just a boxer, bro. Living in Philly.
Yeah. Your manager just for
a manager calls me, an agent calls me from LA, and he's like, hey man, I feel like you got this really good look. You know, I've done some work with I think it was Victor Ortiz, and you got a really good look for films. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, he's like, well, I would like to meet. I'm like, when would you want to meet? He's like, can we meet next week? Whatever. I'm like, all right. I just booked a trip out to LA, right? And then I think it was SB's week, right? So I started going to, he took me to all the events or whatever. I was feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm starting like LA. The weather was great. So he pretty much pitched this idea to me, and I was like, all right, bet. And like right after that, I started looking for apartments. I didn't even go back to Philly. I just started looking for apartments. I got this dope ass spot in Hollywood. And I just was like, I went back to Philly. I said, yo, mom, I'm moving to LA. I got an apartment already. She's like, what? Yeah. Everybody started tripping like, yo, you about to start acting? Because you got to remember at this time I'm knocking out Brian Vera. Mm-hmm. I'm just coming off of which fight was that? Man, I was fighting big fights. I think I had just fought Charlo or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I moved to LA, and it didn't work out with the dude. But within the span of just being out there for 3 months, I was taking acting classes. Okay. And then I'm on a treadmill, and randomly this dude walks up to me and hits me with the, yo, you're the perfect guy for this film. I'm like, all right, here we go again, right? Yeah. So I exchanged numbers with him. And next thing you know, he called me like in a week, and he was like, yo, come to Warner Brothers Studio. I went to Warner Brothers Studio, and there's Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. And then we get some lines, and then we do a face-off.
Oh, so you didn't really even rehearse per se? Not only not rehearse, but you didn't have to go through no casting bullshit. No. He pulled up on you and was like, "Yo, you're the guy,
bro." So
you go straight to freaking
I go
the megastar.
I go straight to Ryan and Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. We do some lines, and then Ryan's like, "Yo, do a face-off," and I'll do that crazy. I grill the shit out of Mike, and he's like, "Yeah, you're the guy, you're the guy," and I'm like, "Yo, so what is this?" And they're like, "This is the sequel to Rocky, Creed." I'm like, oh shit, I'm from Philly, right? I just left Philly to do films. And then they were like, and I'm like, where's it gonna be filmed at? I just
came off those stairs.
I'm like, where's it gonna be filmed? And they're like, we're gonna film in Philly. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Full circle.
I called my mama. I said,
I'm coming back.
Mama.
I'm coming
back. Yo, it's crazy. I'm coming back. I had a freaking trailer in my old neighborhood and shit filming fucking Creed, bro. That's how that works. Yeah. For real, you think about it, right? Like that really goes to show that when the opportunity comes, just jump on it. Yeah. Be prepared, because I was going to acting classes. It was Larry Moss, who was like he's one of the acting coaches of Leonardo DiCaprio. So I was playing. It wasn't like I was just out there not trying. Yeah. I was doing I did a couple auditions and things like that.
Oh, okay, so that's how that came about.
Yeah, so no. I didn't. No one saw me for no audition. I got found on a treadmill, and the dude was like, "Yo, you're the perfect guy for this movie."
But then you took the acting classes, or you're taking it prior?
He knew who I was. He knew who I was because I was already fighting on HBO and Showtime at the time. Yeah. So he knew who I was.
This is 2014. Your peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
he knew who I was.
Some fights at this point.
Yeah, so
you already fought Triple G and all that bullshit.
Yeah. So it was crazy, bro. So yeah, and it just came about, man. And then once I did that, then then like a few months later, the creator from BKB, because when I had fought Brian Vera, I fought him under this new
big knockout thing.
It was called Big Knockout Boxing, right? Yep. And he was the creator of Kingdom with Nick Jonas and Frank Grillo. And then he was like, yo, I saw you in Creed, man. You did a good job. I'm going to put you in Kingdom. And then I got put on Kingdom.
And you became the champ.
Yeah, I knocked out. I worked on Nick Jonas in that one. Yeah, so it was crazy, bro. So I was getting these big acting gigs, like no manager, no agent, no nothing, just on the strength, bro.
Dang,
Yeah.
no one taking no percentages. You took that one back.
Real talk. But it was crazy, man. And it's funny because I would get more work, but it would always be like in the midst of a training camp.
That's fucking awesome.
So I was just following my passion, which was boxing. But I really had like that lane where I could have went hard on that one, but it was just like boxing or this, and I just felt like I was just, the fights I was doing were big fights.
I'm pretty sure you still get a residual check from Creed.
Oh yeah. You still get those checks. Yeah.
What about now? You don't think about trying to jump back into it? Do you have any?
One time I got a check and I was like, I thought it was taxes, like I owed taxes. I was like, oh no, this is for you. This is for me.
That's fire.
That's fire.
Yeah, but it's dope. It's crazy. And I always say, I'm like, yo, but actors, like, it's a hard business. But when you're in it, man, it's great.
That's tight.
Yeah, man.
You don't have anything plans of getting back into it or anything like that?
I mean, I would like to. I mean, because I got a creative personality, man. So I like to I could never stay still, but I always want to be doing something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, it's like after boxing, it's like shit gets real boring. Not that it gets boring, but it's just like there's nothing that really can.
Well, yeah, because you're going to camp, you're going here, you're traveling there, you're doing this, you're doing that.
And
pressers.
that mentality as a boxer.
Just come fight time. Yeah. Just the feeling of walking in and the crowd and that adrenaline, right? So it's like, you always got to find something to do. You know what I mean? Create something.
How'd you land the commentator gig?
I always been doing it. I've been doing it.
Because that's fire.
Even when I fought Jaime Munguia, I think I had flew like 3 weeks from the fight to New York to do a show in New York. And I was like, it's only 3 weeks away from the fight. I could do it. It was like a show from Triller. I mean, so I've always done it, man. I enjoyed it. I think I've been doing it for like 5 years now. I mean, so.
We asked Abner, what do you think's harder, preparing to fight or preparing to commentate a match?
What'd he say?
He said commentating.
Yeah.
Harder. Yeah, he said because especially all the undercard fighters, half the guys you don't know who they are. So you have to do all that research on them, and you got to kind of be sharp and and know their style, and there's a lot of studying going involved.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
No, it's true. You do got to do research and stuff like that, but
you got notes.
Yeah, I write notes. But the crazy thing is, man, I could dissect something so fast.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to watch a whole fight. I could just watch a couple seconds of a guy, and I'm like, okay, he's blah. Next fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't really give too much emphasis in watching film on a guy, because sometimes guys show up and they're completely find a
especially if they're young.
Yeah.
Especially if they're young.
The most important thing I need to know is if he's southpaw or orthodox. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
And then you kind of know how he's gonna fight, or his game plan from that.
Because honestly, I'm not gonna call the fight from what he did before. When it's a up and comer, I'm gonna call him by what he's doing in that moment. You know what I'm saying? He's an up and comer. I don't gotta talk about what he did in his last 2 fights.
Yeah,
but if it's Canelo or if it's obviously, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But with the young, with the guys that are coming up, you don't really have to go too crazy on what they've done. You know what I'm saying?
Did the Roach and Davis fight happen when we spoke to Abner, or was it the following day?
No, it had happened already. We just didn't. We had to talk about. We didn't talk about that. That's one thing we missed.
How do you feel about that fight? Because I feel like they were holding back I've never seen anybody so trigger shy.
Yeah, that's Tank's style. Right, but
to see them both behave like that was crazy.
Yeah, one thing that I thought was that Roach should have been more aggressive, because you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, man, in boxing, when you fighting a superstar like Tank, you just can't beat him by this much.
No, you gotta really,
you know what I'm saying. And the thing is that I didn't think that Tank was on his A game, so I think you got to sense that as a fighter and realize, okay, he now has his A game. Let me step it up. because Tank was hitting them and loading up on some shots. You tasted, you took the power, so it's like, take more chances. Now you know what he's working with. Take more chances. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. But isn't that Tang's game plan as well? Is to make you think that you're winning the fight?
Well, my thing is this: are you trying to win the fight or not?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's the chance you got to make.
Yeah.
It's like NASCAR drivers when they're hitting them turns at freaking 200 something miles an hour, bro. That's a risk like a mug, right? And sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta drive.
Like Talladega Nights. You gotta go crazy. But that's boxing. It's like
you gotta risk it. You gotta risk it to win it.
You gotta take a chance, man. In any sport, right? You gotta take a chance. And I felt like Roach. I just felt like Roach really missed the opportunity, and where Tank wasn't on his A game, and he just didn't step it up. And I feel like that's really. Because it was a close fight, could have went either way. Roach should have got the knockdown.
He should have, but you can't bank on that, right?
Yeah,
like,
you can't bank on that. But he should have got the knockdown. That was a knockdown.
So we had this conversation. Yeah. He's saying no, I say yes.
Yeah, it's a knockdown because it's the same equivalent of when Miguel Cotto was backing up and took a knee against Margarito.
Yeah.
You remember he was taking such a beating, where he backed up like 3 steps and took his.
So
knee,
you take it,
and they counted.
So you're telling the ref, I need time.
Yeah, because the thing is, he got hit with like a 1-2, and then the last one he got hit with it grazed his eye.
Yeah,
right. And then Tank went down, and I think really what happened, it ain't no grease. I think really the glove hit his eye.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Scratched it,
and then he took a knee. It's like, that's a knockdown.
And that's a you get back up, so a standing 8 count. You're gonna get that 8 count, but that's
you can't turn your back. Yeah, and then you can't. The trainer can't walk in the corner and wipe your eyes. That's disqualification. There's a lot of things went wrong in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But
that's a seasoned referee too to just allow to just go down.
But you know what happens is, shout out to Willis because he has some of my fights. He is a good referee, but he was caught up in a moment where it's like,
what the.
He's caught up in the moment where he's reffing one of the biggest stars in boxing. And it's like he knew that his decision of calling that a knockdown
could make or break everything.
Could make and break what's happening. And it was like he gave him leeway. And you're not supposed to do that.
Because as a ref. As a ref, you're seeing him like, oh, he's not hurt.
He started counting.
He did.
He was at 4. And then he just stopped.
And then Roach walks up to him and says, hey, keep counting. Keep counting. Roach tells Willis to keep counting. And Willis looks at him and just looks back at Tank and starts talking to Tank. But Roach is like, hey, keep counting. And Willis tells Roach, hey, step back.
Yeah.
And so he should have kept counting.
No, for sure.
That would have been Gervonta's first L.
Yeah, it would have been his first L. But like I said, man, I just think that there was spots where Roach could have stepped it up a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because
for sure
we can never front and act like we don't know the unwritten rule of boxing, which is you can't win a close fight against the champion.
You got to take it.
You just know that, especially when the champion is a superstar. Like now the champion, like let's say the champion Skull, the one that's fighting Canelo, he's a no-name champion though.
Facts.
No disrespect, but you know what I'm saying?
No, he earned his shit. But he ain't.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is he's not a name
at all.
He's not the attraction. So I could see where he don't get the leverage.
Yes,
but Tank is a star. He's a pay-per-view star.
Facts.
He fills out an arena, so that's different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you see them? Did they already say they're not overturning the?
Yeah, they already came out. They're not overturning the.
What it is. That made Roach look good though.
Look, man, it's not a loss for Roach.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's like, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, he holds on to his title. Yeah. He's gonna make more money.
He got the Pitbull effect.
Yeah, he's gonna make more money. You
lose against Tank, but you put on a good performance, so now everybody feels like, oh, that's.
Well, he got a draw, so he didn't lose.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, technically he didn't lose at all.
He didn't lose, but you know what I mean, like I just think he missed the opportunity of just being more aggressive, letting his hands go a little bit more, jabbing more, and I think he'd have won it by a larger,
bigger margin.
I saw a crazy take. I don't believe the take, but it's just interesting just to throw out there. Is that because Tank and Roach, they came up together in amateurs.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that Tank pulled up because Roach is a champion at 130, right?
Yeah, 130.
So Tank pulls up Roach to get the fight. He's already a champ. He's doing good, but hey, let's get a payday. Come up here and fight, and we just carry each other through the fight. And then they get the draw. They move on. Now Roach is a star. He got some star power because he went 12 rounds.
Who said this happened?
I seen it online, but I was like
some TikTok shit.
Yeah. It's like some shit. I'm like looking. I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, hey, they take me down a rabbit hole. Okay, so I just like, but it's just like
too risky.
It's too risky because then you're banking on your other boy like to keep his word, but it's just like
that's too crazy.
I don't see that happening. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just like, look, the most homie thing you could do as a fighter is give somebody a fight though. On some real shit.
On some cool shit.
That was one of the things. That's one of the things I will always tell Berlanga. I'd be like, we might as well eat together, motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna try to knock you out, and you gonna try to knock me out. But you might fight somebody you don't even know, and he get in the bag too. So it's like, I'm get the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get the bag together. No, real talk.
No, for real.
That's the most gangster shit you could do. That you're in a position to be like, no, I want to fight him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? Because
who knows? You might fight his ass next.
Well, how many homies you fight? How many people you fight and they end up being cool with at the end? In the streets and shit. So
honestly, I'm cool with everybody I fought. I even got cool with Jacobs, and me and Jacobs really wasn't feeling each other in a while.
Wild press.
And we really genuinely had like a dislike for each other. But then we ended up having to work the Berlanga Canelo card together in the zone, and that was our first time seeing each other. You know what I mean, since we fought. And we just kind of going through the motions, but then we ended up
being
chopping it up, and then we went out together. We had one of those funny nights in Vegas. it was crazy. So man, it was cool.
I'm gonna ask you some off-brand shit right now, and I could take it out if you want. But have you ever seen or do you know any commentators to be biased towards situations, or do you guys got to remain unbiased as commentators? And as podcasting.
Oh, have I worked with someone that's biased?
Well,
or seen it?
Are you like, for me, we're on here and I'm clearly saying I want this fucker to win the other side. And that's probably not the best thing in the world to do. But are you guys allowed to share your personal biases?
Oh yeah,
no?
I'll say who I think has the advantage and who I think is
different. I say who I'm saying like
who you want to win.
Yeah, I'm saying like
you're saying it an analytical way, like he has the advantage.
I mean, you can't go like, yo, I want.
You can't do that, right?
I hope he knocks out Haney. Like, no. But you know what I mean? It's like, I call the fight. I call a fight straight up, though.
No. Yeah. But I'm saying like I always say, I RGBA heavy. Robert Garcia and most of the boys in those camps are my boys.
Yeah.
So when I come up here and talk I don't really care who they're fighting. I actually don't care at all. Like, this is the squad. This is who's gonna win.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything. Barbosa versus Teo.
Yeah.
I've encountered Teo. We slapped hands. Cool.
Yeah.
But Barbosa's my boy.
Yeah.
So it's Teofimo, unfortunately. You
be careful.
As commentators, you guys.
He's gonna make a diss song about you too.
Oh.
Well. I mean, with Teo, Teo's really easy not to like. It's really easy not to like Teo.
Cool. If he wasn't fighting Barbosa,
I'm saying it's really easy not to like Teo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because his antics or whatever, it ain't my style.
Yeah,
it ain't my style. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's cheesy to me. It's not my style. Coming into the last press conference,
and he wasn't like that before.
He had eyeliner on and shit.
That was wild.
Looking like Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's just, that's like circus shit to me. That's circus shit to me. We dogs. We fighting, bro. Like,
it's unnecessary to do that.
It's just circus.
Honestly,
and then it just goes to show that you have to act like a whole clown ass for people to watch you. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, that's crazy when you gotta act like a clown so people can watch you. So people can tune in. That's what I think of how he acts.
I feel it. And in respects to that, he's on a huge. No one needs to sell this fight. That is just the names on the bill alone is enough to tune in.
Come on, you got Ryan and Rolly. That's
huge by itself.
That's a fun fight to watch. Somebody get knocked out. I mean,
facts.
I think Ryan has the advantage, but that's a crazy fight.
Yeah, somebody is getting
Ramirez, Haney. I think that's the wrong comeback fight for Haney.
Yeah,
I think you picked the wrong dude to come back and try to look good at, because at the end of the day, bro, you might be able to box, but you don't know what it's gonna feel like when you get hit again, and you might have flashbacks.
And Ramirez has a little bit of power on him. He's not a slouch.
And then he's fighting at a healthier weight for him. He's moving up to 147. He's gonna have his power is gonna carry up.
So like my thing is like it's just a dangerous fight for Haney. I give him props for taking that fight, but that's a dangerous fight to come back on. Like you don't want to come like it was like how we were talking about Berlanga. Yeah, like Berlanga's coming back, but he's coming back on a fight that's a little safe.
For sure,
this ain't a safe fight for Haney. So Haney, if he comes back victorious, he that says a lot.
That's fire.
Yeah. That says a lot about his character. Even though I don't agree with the lawsuit and all that, I think that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was super crazy. but he'll redeem himself if he could beat Ramirez. But I just think that's a dangerous fight. And then like what's his name? Teo and Barbosa. I just like Barbosa's activity.
Yeah,
and beating Ramirez and then beating Carroll in the UK.
Beating Carroll at home on the decision was fire.
He's in shape. He's gonna get in better shape. His confidence is sky high, and Teo is a fighter that got to fight off rhythm. He's been inactive, so I don't care how good you are, you've been inactive, and you're going to be active with a guy that's already been coming off back-to-back fights.
And Teo struggles with boxers, like actual like boxers. Yeah. So like that's Barbosa style, and so we've seen him struggle against Sandor Martin. We've seen him struggle against Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah. So like,
and Barbosa is look, man. When Barbosa beat Ramirez, I knew he was going to beat Ramirez, and I knew he was going to beat Ramirez just like he beat him, because Barbosa needed that name to show what he was, what he had. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to look good against guys that nobody knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he fought Ramirez and he looked good. You know what I'm saying? So Teo that's a huge name. And not only is that a huge name, but that's somebody he holds the ring.
And he's been chasing that. He's been wanting that fight for a long time.
So I think it's just gonna add to the fire for Barbosa, and like and Teo is Teo, man. Like I said, he has to act like that to draw attention. You know what I mean?
And the two biggest things I see from that fight is just the focus. Like, are we getting a focus like a Teo that fought Josh Taylor, or are we getting Barbosa's focus all the time?
And locked in now.
Yeah, he's focused all the time. So you never question Barbosa's focus.
Yeah.
But that's the question that we always get with Teo coming into a fight. Is he focused? Is his outside the ring stuff, is that affecting his life? Because it has in the past, right? When he's fought Jermaine Ortiz, you see these lackluster performances. When he fights a Teofimo, or when he fights a Josh Taylor, when he fought Lomachenko, that type of Teo is a top tier fighter.
Yeah, but he fought a hurt Lomachenko. And you could tell Lomachenko was hurt, and you could tell that there was moments when Lomachenko sucked it up and put his foot on the gas, that the level was completely different. And then Teo Lomachenko went back to not doing much,
nursing whatever.
And then that's when Teo was looking good, but Teo was breaking down in that fight, bro. If you really look at that fight and study that fight, he was breaking down when Lomachenko started pressing. You know what I mean? So, he beat Luma, but he didn't beat 100% Luma. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the big name he has on his resume. But it was a guy that literally had to get a surgery after the fight.
Who do you think's gonna take it?
I mean, I think Barbosa, the momentum's on his side right now. Like Teo for real is a good fighter. That's why, honestly, like his antics
are unnecessary.
To each his own.
No, but
for me is BS. When you saw like Muhammad Ali entertain a crowd, Muhammad Ali really was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking around.
It was like he was a genius. He was funny. It was like you know what I'm saying? When Teo does it, to me, it looks forced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. It's not entertaining to me. But I feel like he has to do that because it's a lack of confidence, because it's like he's very inconsistent in his fights. He'll look good and then he'll look bad. So
he's chasing the bag. He's been talking about the money issues he's had for like with the promoters and stuff like that. So he's trying to sell himself so he can gain some fans and try to and for negotiation purposes.
And does he have a fan base? He really doesn't have a fan base, to be honest.
No, he doesn't, and that's why he's acting the way he's acting now. Yeah, but
yeah.
and everybody keeps saying about the power, right? That's crazy, right?
Look, man.
But it's true,
bro. And it's crazy because I swear, I really, when Tio is on,
he's on. Yeah,
he a bad dude.
Yeah,
he's a bad dude. But like I said, man, boxing is a mental game. Mm-hmm. It's not just about what you can do physically. It's mental, and a lot of the things that Tio does, man, it shows a lot of insecurity.
Yeah.
A lot of insecurity. It was like, oh, this guy's fake confident. Like he knows he's good, but he don't really know how good he is.
Yeah.
So he has to do all this clown shit. But it's like it's all insecurity, man.
And then people talk about the power, right? The Tio. Do you think Tio really has power at 140?
I think he does, because speed is power. He's very fast. He's explosive. I think he got power.
Even though he got no knockouts at 140, all his knockouts are at lower weights.
Yeah. I mean, I think Barbosa's probably the better puncher maybe at the weight. But yeah, I think anybody get knocked out in that weight. You know what I'm saying? I think all those guys pack a punch.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on I just saw. I was waiting to see what Oscar was gonna say about the Dana and Turkey shit, considering he just sold what did Oscar own Ring outright, or was he majority shareholder?
No, he owned Ring and Turkey bought it off him.
Yeah. So he gave him his whole shit. I mean, he still has Golden Boy, right?
Yeah.
But he gave him the whole Ring.
Yeah.
What all of that entails.
Which I think was smart.
It was fire.
Because nothing was happening with Ring.
No.
Now all of a sudden Ring is like popping.
It's the shit.
Yeah.
But then he goes and he puts Dana in position on some whole other shit.
Yeah. It's interesting how that's gonna work.
And then I saw what Oscar said at the behind the scenes, the little small interview. I think little giant boxing. You heard the homie. I've actually met that. He was a pretty cool guy. He asked him like, yo, how do you feel about that? And he was like, yo, I feel kind of slighted.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Disrespect. I think.
Did he say betrayed or disrespected?
What did he say?
Probably both.
I forgot what he said, but yeah, he pretty much said he
wasn't cool with that shit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And I don't mean so much about how you feel about Oscars.
Yeah.
I just mean in general, like Dana White now has a huge bag behind him.
Is it good or bad?
Like I'm assuming now that this is it called TKO or is that
TKO?
TKO. Okay, so the TKO shit I think is now gonna. The Ring shit's probably gonna die out, and now it's gonna be all the TKO shit. Is what I'm assuming.
TKO is just the people that bought the so the organization name of boxing. They haven't announced. They haven't announced the name yet, but TKO they bought out WWE and UFC, so they own.
Okay, so that's the group, the TKO group.
TKO group, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is whatever the Dana White calls the new shit, I'm pretty sure that the Ring, the fire ass Riyadh shit we've all been seeing is.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna go through the new shit. I'm assuming, or what do you think?
No, I think
that what Dana and Sergey are doing is creating a league, right? I think what they're doing is creating a league, and I think it'll suit certain guys. I don't necessarily think it'll take over boxing, because I feel like boxing has always been like the Wild Wild West, whereas like you had Don King, you had Bob Arum, and now you got. Matchroom, Queensberry, Golden Boy, PBC. And it's like, man, I just think they're going to stay on their wave. You know what I mean? And then I think, in Riyadh season, they'll obviously do events with Turkey. Yeah, but I don't see how the what Turkey and Dana are doing are going to like surpass what
everything
boxing
else
is right now. Yeah.
I feel it. So what you're saying is it's going to be, like you said, it's only league.
Because you got to understand, man, boxing is about culture. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't understand culture and you don't understand certain races, bro, like you really not gonna really know how to do this to how boxing's really work. If you don't understand the Mexican culture, how you gonna know what Mexican fighter to sign? Because just because a dude's Mexican don't mean that Mexico is gonna back this dude. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's Puerto Rican don't mean that Puerto Ricans are gonna just back the dude.
They're gonna want fools that really, really fight.
Yeah. And it's not just about how they fight, it's how they talk, the charisma. It's just a package. Why was Tito Trinidad? Because he just had a whole vibe about him. And Chavez was Chavez because he had a whole vibe about him. It's just certain dudes, you know what I'm saying? So you got to really understand the culture, man. You got to understand that when you put a Puerto Rican top fighter, you got to put him in New York, or you got to put him in Florida. Mexican, you got to put him in Vegas, or you got to put him in LA. You can't be putting fights in Chicago or putting these certain fights in like Wisconsin. Yeah. I remember when the Zone was first doing fights, and I'm like, why is this fight in Milwaukee? Like, why are we in Milwaukee? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, don't fix what ain't broke. The fighting cities are New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Texas. Let's keep it to where the shit cracks.
Arizona's a good place too.
Yeah, Arizona. So I think it's just an aspect of really understanding the culture, man. You got to understand the culture too, because that's what makes boxing fans fall in love with fighters. It's like, and if you look at the UFC, it's really declining. Because you got a lot of the dudes from, I forget what country it is, man, but there's a lot of dudes from
like Dagestan and Russia.
Yeah, they're running the game. You can't even pronounce these dudes' name. No disrespect to them, but it's like
the stands.
The stands. Yeah, the moves. So it's like they're great fighters, but how can the American public connect? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, UFC's in a transition period. Like all their big stars are at the age of about to retire. Yeah. So once they're done, who's the next star? They don't have the next stars yet. So that's what's going on over there. For sure.
It's like there's a kid right now. And to me, I'm not gonna call him a kid. He's a grown man now because I know him since he was a young boy. Diego Pacheco.
Shout out to the Pacheco
Diego
brothers.
Pacheco to me is supposed to be a bigger star right now.
Yeah.
And my thing is just not understanding the culture, and you really it's like
they're not building.
He fought at StubHub, and I commentated that fight, and it was like nobody was there. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But why? He's from South Central.
It should have been lit.
He could fight.
Yeah.
He knocking people out. He's supposed to be a star. Why is Berlanga a star? Who's better, Pacheco, Berlanga?
Skill wise,
but I would say they came up at the same time. Mm-hmm. Why is Berlanga the star out of the two?
Marketing,
because he knows how to trigger the Puerto Rican market. Mm-hmm. Fat Joe, Arcangel, all these guys, Eladio, they rock with him, right? He's connected to the culture. You know what I'm saying? And then the promotion knows how to use that, and then you know what I mean. But like Diego is like, there's no. You got to understand culture, man. And that's really more on Berlanga's side. That's not on the promotional side. That wasn't the promotion was doing that for Berlanga.
No, that's him reaching out.
That was him doing it on his own. And I bet you he surprised the shit out of the promoter. I bet you Matchroom was like, goddamn. Yeah. Matchroom was like, shit.
This is fire.
Yeah. But Pacheco doesn't have the personality of Berlanga, but Matchroom's supposed to catch game on, okay, we got to go this route with him, but they can't. Why can't they?
Because they don't
know the culture.
Yeah.
Top rank, they made the biggest Puerto Rican stars. Why? They knew the culture. Miguel Cotto.
This is a cold you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Cotto.
It's crazy.
And
Miguel Cotto, all those Puerto Rican fighters that came from top rank. All the Mexican fighters that came from top rank. They knew the culture. Don King knew the culture. Viva Puerto Rico! Viva Puerto Rico! With the flags, you the culture. You gotta know the culture, bro.
It's funny that you're saying that because Golden Boy just signed his little brother.
Golden Boy does a good job.
They just signed Diego's little brother, Federico. And I knew about that fight and what's happening on Golden Boy fight nights. He has like 0 fights, respectfully. Yeah. And I even tuned in like, oh shit. I know Diego Pacheco because one of my boys is Peso. He's a rapper, popular rapper out here. So I'm familiar with him because of that, which is pathetic because, like you're saying, I should know who the he is. He's from South Central. I'm from East LA. That's 5 miles away.
Diego Pacheco's supposed to be that dude right now, bro.
And just that marketing the first fucking Mexican American heavyweight Golden Boy has ever. I was like, what the.
Yeah, because Golden Boy know what they got. Golden Boy know what they got, and he's young, and I'm hoping that kid could really develop into something special because he got the skill, but it's like the mindset gotta match the skill too.
And Diego's at 168, right? So
he's at 168. He's at a fire division.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like
he's
that division's on fire right now.
He's at a fire division, and like I said, man, Diego, he's a really cool, calm, chill dude, man. But he really got skills. And I really think he's the future of the division. But, it's the job of the promotion to really understand, okay, he's not talkative. He's not really charismatic as much. But at the end of the day.
Well, they may not have put him in front of a microphone with us or y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because him coming into a fucking room with Mr. Lampley, he ain't going to talk no crazy shit.
Yeah.
But if he's at this table or in your fucking pad,
he's gonna feel comfortable.
We're gonna talk some reckless shit.
But then think about this: he don't really have to talk shit because if you think about it, Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
How much did Miguel Cotto say?
Yeah.
Miguel Cotto barely talked. Miguel Cotto barely even smiled. He walked into the ring, no smile. He won a fight, hand up in the air, no face reaction.
Yeah.
Like Cotto was like the opposite of Tito Trinidad. Tito Trinidad was high. Yelling at the fans. He was so charismatic. Cotto was quiet, but what was he? Puerto Rican. And what the top rank know? He's a Puerto Rican that could fight, and that's all we need, and we'll do the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
so Diego Pacheco is like Cotto. They just don't understand the market. Because that sucker right now should be selling out spots in LA easy, bro. Easy. South Central, stop playing, bro.
We're tagging Matchroom on these clips.
But I love Matchroom. I love Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a lot of shows with Matchroom. I do shows. I just did a show with them in Canada. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just shooting it how it is, man. That's the difference of it. And it's hard for them to really understand it because they're from the UK. How can they know the culture? We don't know the culture over there. You know what I'm saying?
At all, for real.
How we gonna market somebody from Manchester? We don't know nothing about Manchester.
Big Ben, Big Ben and French fries. You
feel me? We gonna be mass stereotype.
Putting tea and croissants on the table when we interview people.
That fires. But that might be racist, even though they're, you know what I'm saying?
But like Matchroom knows that Diego's really that kid. Like they know how good he is. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yo, you gotta really market to the culture.
Yeah, a couple of bucks on Instagram ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta market to the culture heavy, bro.
That's crazy.
Because that kid should be a star right now. Like way bigger.
I was just gonna say Berlanga had mentioned his name too after Diego's last fight. Berlanga had mentioned his name.
I think
that's a great fight.
Berlanga might get the business on that one. Who knows though?
Man, one thing is like Berlanga's not a super middleweight, bro. That he just knows how to make that weight. But that kid he came in 195 when he fought Canelo.
Yes,
that's crazy. Coming in hot.
And Canelo would never spot weight like that with anyone. But he only did it with him because he knew he was a little green.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll let him.
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. He's green. He don't even know how to use that weight. You know what I'm saying? But that's a big advantage coming in 195. So that would probably be his advantage with Diego is the size. But Diego's a bad dude.
Yeah, and Diego knows how to use his length. So that's the thing too. Is like, he's gonna have the size, he's gonna be heavier, but Diego knows how to use his length. His jab is really good, stays on the outside. So if he just keeps the distance the whole fight, I think and then works the body.
Yeah.
So, but it's an interesting fight.
It ain't an easy fight for either. No, it's not. Either or, it's not an easy fight
for sure.
The only advantage I give Berlanga is the size and the punching power.
Yeah.
Diego would have to be very, very, very technically sound.
Yeah.
Right? Like, technically sound, jab, not get into like a fire match with him.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a hard fight for both fighters.
I just realized that I slipped and I didn't give a shout out to my sponsors in the beginning of this episode. Shout out to Royalty Honey. Although you see all of my sponsors for the rest of my music-related things. The Boxing Podcast is only sponsored by Royalty Honey. And I know you're not an old-ass man yet, brother. And
what is the honey pack?
Honey packs.
Honey Pack. Officially sponsored by the Honey Packs. So I hope, you know,
This shit crazy.
I know you're in good shape. You probably manage. But,
yeah.
Well, and in case if you do ever book a fight coming up again, you get back in the ring, you don't have to worry about popping.
Good look for sure.
I mean, that's definitely a pad in the bag.
Wow.
That's fire. Shout out to Honey Packs. Make sure you guys follow them.
That's the new slogan for them.
It's pad in the bag. For the fighting shit? Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
My bad. So what's next? What's next for you? What's good?
You know what I mean, man? Doing the show with Abner.
Talk to me how the fools linked up. How does that happen?
No, me and Abner, we just
a Mexican and a Boricua.
Yeah, we've known each other for a minute, bro, and it's something we always talk to each other about, but we never really got to it. So then I told Abner, I said, bro, we just
let's just do it.
Yeah, I said, bro, I'm gonna set it up and we just gonna do it. And then that's what I did. And then he showed up and we didn't even really have nothing like planned. I had the crew, to tape, and we just shot like 50 minutes of just talking boxing, bro.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Just off top. And then it's easy, man, because we get along, bro, and it's the dynamic of a Boricua and a Mexican, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the best rivalry in boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just made perfect sense. And he does the fights with Prime, I do the fights with DAZN.
It's even more fire.
So it's like, yeah, man. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, we're connected to the sport and with fighters, man, where we just want to give maybe fans like more of an inside view of things. You feel me?
Facts.
Yeah, man. So that's how that worked out.
And how'd that name come around?
Mi Gallo. I said, bro, like Puerto Rican and Mexican, one thing we share in common is the gallo fights.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's a common thing. It's like growing up in Philly, my uncles did that. And they would have the roosters in the back, the fighting roosters, and I would see it all, man. So it's like it's just our culture. You know what I mean? He was like, when we would watch fights, my dad would be like, yo, mi gallo. Say mi gallo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, and he was like, all right, yeah, mi gallo, let's do it.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's tight.
People were like, what's mi gallo?
Fucking hard.
What's mi gallo?
Oh, shit.
When I first talked to Abner, because I've known Abner for a minute, I was pressed when I found out you guys were doing a podcast. I was like, because everyone else are squares, dog. Let's be real. All the respectfully, a lot of other fools in the space are squares.
Yeah.
And I'm Mexican, and this fool's half Puerto Rican, so I'm like, that shit is not cool. You fools are the lane right now.
That's funny.
If anyone else steps in the lane, we both gotta attack.
That's funny, bro. It's funny. I told Abner that too. I was like, yo, like, I feel like the other ones, they're good. They're good. I just feel like
it's different.
Yeah,
no, it's different.
I feel like
they try to be like on the straight path.
It's funny. Me and Abner say some shit sometimes. We'd be like, "Do we leave that?" I'm like,
just leave it,
because it's facts, man. It's just real talk. And I feel like, and what's crazy, man? I feel like remember HBO and Showtime?
Yeah.
Like Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant, they didn't give a damn about making friends.
No. Larry Merchant used to say some reckless shit.
Bro, they kept it a buck, bro. You know what I'm saying? To the point where freaking Floyd Mayweather was like,
hey, you even talk to me.
What did Floyd say? Oh, Larry was like, if I was your age, I'd punch you in the mouth. Or
if I was
crazy.
30 years younger, I'll whoop your ass.
Whatever. So, like, I think that's how commentating and critiquing fights are supposed to be. It's not like if I'm saying something, let's say
the truth is the truth. We don't need to kiss ass.
Just let's say I got something to say about Roach and his performance against Tank. I thought he fought a good fight. I just wish he would have pressed more. I don't got to beat towards Roach. If I saw Roach as love, is respect.
Yeah.
That's just the opinion on the observation.
Yeah, it's my opinion, bro. It's like people have mad opinions of me, bro. Like there's a bunch of shit people can say about me. So it's like, whatever. It is what it is. So, you know what I mean? I feel like you just got to keep it a buck, but I feel like there's too much now since you got podcasts and you got Instagram and you got social media, everybody wants to be cool. Everybody, I
want to be cool with this guy.
I'm cool with this guy. It's like, come on, man. It's just like, just state the facts. It's like, that's why the NBA's whack. They all friends.
No,
that's why the NBA's whack. They're all buddies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, like my era was Iverson, it was Vince Carter, Brady.
Yeah,
them dudes was going at it, bro. So it's just different.
Yeah, you're going out there trying to bust somebody's ass, and then after, like, go have a beer after.
And the funny thing is, this is boxing. Why are we trying to be everybody friends? This is boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And what I mean about trying to be everybody's friend, be respectful. One thing is like, you know what I'm saying? One thing is like you're judging somebody's family or you're coming at someone on some real personal shit. That's a whole different. Now you're out of pocket. But if you could seek in a fighter's performance or whatever, or his antics, was like, man, that's fair play. I think so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, especially like if somebody might say something good, actually, and as a fighter, you listen to him like, oh shit, let me actually go look at that fight.
Yeah.
He might be telling me something that I can fucking use.
For sure.
Or I can tweak or something, So,
for sure.
But and if you listen to somebody, he's talking some bullshit, like, just move on. Like,
yeah, for sure, man.
You can do both.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure, man. Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. What other big fights is it safe to say Canelo's smashing out Skull? Pause.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Kind of did that big deal.
The 4-fight deal.
Is it crazy though? Like, am I the only one that didn't know Skull was like Dominican? Because when at the press conference,
no, he's Cuban.
Oh, Cuban. He started speaking Spanish. I said, wait a minute.
Cuban. He's Cuban.
Oh, so they're able to communicate.
Yeah, they communicate.
But you know what? Though? Like, honestly, I gotta look at some film on
Skull.
I'm about to show my age. I'm like, I'm about to look on some tape.
Yeah.
It's facts.
Yeah. Right. But I gotta look up some fights with Skull because I really don't know his style. But you know what I mean, man.
He's big.
Yo, I got so much of respect for Canelo, bro. Like the focus. The focus, the discipline, bro, to put himself at this level, bro, is just, and people could say, well, fight Benavidez already, whatever. Bro, man, to be able to call the shots at that point, you had to put so much work in. So it's just like, bro,
it's come a long way,
bro. And if you look, bro, look at his resume. How many champions he beat? How many champions he beat, bro?
I think out of the whole resume, there's only 3, or was it 3 that are not champions?
Some shit like that.
It's like something crazy where all his fights are mostly champions.
Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. So I got mad respect for him, bro. So, I think he's, obviously he wants to unify the titles. And then I don't think he goes into the Crawford fight right away. I think he goes into if what's his name? If Eubank beats Conor Ben, I see him fighting Eubank
before, and then in September another fight.
And then no, Eubank would be September.
Oh, Eubank will be September
because this is May coming up.
May.
Yeah. So Eubank will be September, and then I think Crawford would be the end of the year.
Oh,
that's how I think it's gonna play out.
They don't have it booked, right? It's not locked in stone type shit.
That's how I think. That's how I see it. I don't know. Because one thing Canelo always said is that he always wanted to do a fight in the UK.
Yeah.
So the perfect name would be Eubank coming off of the Ben win, and then that's a mega fight.
Over there, that's a big fight.
It's
a
mega fight.
Eubank right now is there. That fight's kind of blowing up after the egg slapping incident.
That's the angle I see.
Yeah.
I don't think people are seeing that, but that's how I'm seeing it.
That's a crazy perspective.
Because then Eubank style, not that he's a Crawford, but as far as the size, the range, the speed,
a cool fight.
It's kind of one of those fights that gets you prepared for Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
That's a crazy perspective.
And then that fight we're talking about before age a little more because you got to remember he's almost 40.
Yeah.
Let him age a little bit too.
That's a cold.
Wasn't that fight talked about before too? Eubank and Canelo. There was like negotiations or something like that.
Yeah. And I think that fight can happen.
That's crazy.
And I think then you keep Crawford. On the standstill.
Most likely Crawford's not
stale a little bit.
And then Crawford probably won't take a fight until he fights Canelo. That's how it's
probably
looking.
won't.
He probably
Yeah,
won't because
won't.
he's really known for taking big layoffs in between fights,
which is crazy.
It would, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But that's the lane I see. And then eventually, I think once Crawford, I think I see him then fighting Benavidez.
At the end.
If Benavidez could stay, you know, on top. Because, you know, he got a problem with Bivol if that fight go down.
That's cool. Well, that fight is almost finalized. I think I see
that fight might happen. That fight happens, bro. Like Bivol is, man. Like I said, Bivol is my number one pound for pound right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Canelo versus Bivol again. That's a stupid.
No, I don't want to see that. I'm saying Benavidez.
Oh,
yeah. No, Benavidez.
That might be a vibe.
No, Benavidez
because that one's almost finalized. So if that happens,
well, they got to have the trilogy right now first.
No, I think they're skipping the trilogy.
No. Honestly,
they're not having the trilogy,
bro. I don't even want to see the trilogy, bro.
That's a cool fight.
I don't want to see the trilogy because the second fight was almost like the first fight. I had Bivol winning the first fight.
I combined
with that. In the rematch, I felt like he did a little bit more now.
Yeah.
And then he certainly won the rematch. So honestly, like I don't look at it as a fight. They're gonna fight the same in the rematch, bro. So we're gonna pretty much see
the same shit.
The same shit. I think trilogies are good when it's like Barrera and Morales, and when it's like I think there's certain guys where the trilogies are like. You know,
I think the trilogy can happen, but down the road if.
Like Mickey Ward got him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Those one went this way, one went this way. There was always, you know,
back and forth.
Yeah.
In that fight, I was really locked in watching it, and like there was like 2 rounds where I thought Bivol just took those rounds off, and I was like, "What the?" Yeah. And I just clocked out because I didn't even want Better Beef to win. I was like, "Bivol's gonna like this, I'm out."
No.
And I just continued doing whatever else I was doing. It was just on the screen, and then he won. I was like, "What the?" Did I miss?
Yeah. No, he looked great, man. He looked great. So I think him and Benavidez, if that fight happens next, man, I think like
that's a blockbuster.
Man, it's a big fight, man. You know what I mean? Benavidez, that's the homie right there, bro. And I would love to see him become champion. You know, unify. That's crazy. But Bivol, man, he's just special dude.
That's a bad dude.
Yeah, he's bad, man. I mean,
he rarely makes mistakes out there. He's just on point.
Yeah,
100%. Except those, he didn't throw that jab in the middle of those rounds against Better V.
So I'm not wrong then, right? It looked like he was chilling.
He wasn't throwing the right hand or the jab or something like that.
He broke his hand.
So something was going like I don't know what happened, and then he picked it up again.
Yeah.
But that has to be a conscious decision because Bivol, he don't make mistakes like that.
With Better Beef, you gotta take moments where you take breaks too, bro, because that sucker keep coming and he's throwing. Whereas like you can't make a mistake with him. So with him, sometimes Bivol stood in the pocket, hands up, or did a lot of movement and then throw nothing back because he didn't want to give him an opening.
Yeah,
you gotta take breaks on Better Beef, man, because that dude's like a wall, bro. He's just super strong,
and those punches are
it's crazy. Yeah, man.
Who has better Latin food to you, Philly or LA?
Latino food?
I want to ask you about tacos, but you're not super Mexican like that.
I will go with Philly.
You're crazy.
Because Philly got the Caribbean Spanish.
You know what?
I'm Caribbean. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because look, like I love Mexican. My wife's Mexican, so you know what I mean. Like I love Mexican food, bro. You know what I mean? But
it's different.
But I grew up on Puerto Rican food, so it's like you know what I mean. Like in Philly, you can eat Puerto Rican food, and you can eat Dominican food, you can eat Colombian food.
It ain't the same right here. That's sparingly.
Yeah, and then when you go out here and you do hit Puerto Rican restaurants,
it's not the same.
Or Cuban, whatever, it's not the same. No. It's not the same.
No, it's not.
It's close.
I'll take
Porto's ain't your Cuban spot.
Nah. Yeah, you get these little ass balls, no hot pause.
Well, you
but
know,
my grandma makes papa relleno, like some big ass papa.
There's a spot I'll shout out. Yeah. And you should try it out. You know Mofongos in Lancashire?
Yes.
They're pretty cool. They're pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty good. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty good. But it's like, you miss that, man. But it's cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
Gabe Rosado in the building. Anything else you want me to ask you, brother, that we haven't asked you?
No, man.
Anything you pushing right now?
No, man. You know what I mean? Seeing like you were talking about like if I would fight again, I think it's just a matter of it. being something that makes sense.
We're telling Abner the same.
It's something that makes. What he say?
Well, because I
don't want to come back.
I met Abner. I got an Al Heyman check once upon a time, the fattest check I ever got, which I guess is everyone's story with Al Heyman, right? I was filming I don't know if it was I'll call it a 24/7. Is it all access? Is it behind the gloves or what? I don't know what they call it these days, but it was between him and Leo, and I shot the all access for Leo Santa Cruz or whatever, and that's how I met Abner originally. And then they had the second fight, and then recently they were talking around on social media saying for a third fight. So that'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, with Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah, man.
He said, "Oh, is that bad for your co-host?"
No, man. That's
throwing the bus.
Those fights are crazy, man. Those fights are crazy. I went to the one at the Staples.
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, man. So those fights are crazy, man. But you know what I mean, man. It's just one of those things where like I don't think it's ever going to go away. You know, that urge. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it would just have to make sense, like in the sense of me having to wake up in the mornings.
And cut weight.
You ready to cut weight again?
That would have to be, you know, it'd have to be worth it, bro. So
I got two questions that I always forget to ask, and right when you fools are walking out the door, I'm like, I should ask you. What was your take on before fights? You know what I'm saying? Like before fights, whoever.
Before like during training camp?
Yeah.
Man, it depends, bro. I had a 20-year career, bro.
Duh.
So
it's not over yet, but okay.
20-year career, right? So like the times I was super focused, bro, I was on beast mode. But I think the problem with me was my heart is big, and I always relied on my heart in the sense of he ain't all that. And I would do some bullshit. Because I just knew that if I had to count on my heart,
you're locked in.
I know I'm good. And it's crazy because you want to use that, but you don't always have to use that. And if you're in the best shape, if you're locked in, if everything was done right, you don't have to pull that out. But a lot of times I probably would have to pull that out because I'm like, estoy muerto, let's go. I shouldn't have went to that party. I should have had did this. And it's like, damn, all right, bet I gotta suck it up. Let's go. And I always knew I could rely on that.
What's the soonest you did it with when was having sex in a fight? What's a gap, like a safe gap for you?
Oh man, the problem is with that, I think that's a myth. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more of a mental thing. So like the old school trainers would tell fighters not to, stay away from girls because it's the chase that gets you in trouble. It's the going to the club late.
It's not the boning.
Yeah, it's not the actual that hurts you. It's the chase of it, the distraction, talking to this girl. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was like a testosterone.
Yeah, no. It's more on that, man. So, I would try. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, honestly, I was like, yo, I'm gonna lose because I bust a nut. Like, nah, that don't make no sense. That don't make sense, bro. But it was more like the chase. Stay away from the chase. Stay away from the girls.
No, that makes sense. That way, way more sense.
When I would lock in, bro. I'd be a beast. You know what I'm saying? And then, you get comfortable and you're messing around, and then, you pay for it because the ring's always going to tell on you, bro.
Facts.
The ring's always going to tell on you. You can't, man, if you ain't do everything right, it's going to tell on you, bro.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way it is. Yeah, man.
Worst story cutting weight for a fight? Or worst, yeah.
Shit, man, it would have to be the Charlo fight. I went up the middleweight and I had the fight with Jay Leon Love, and I had beat Jay Leon Love. They end up I think he failed a drug test or something, so it was turned into a no contest. And then I fought Peter Quillen, and then I went back to 54 to fight Charlo. But when I did camp in Puerto Rico, so it was super hot out there, and I was dropping the weight, whatever. When I got to DC, I fought him in Washington DC. It was a blizzard.
Cold.
And bro, so it was like I couldn't go outside to run or nothing. It was a blizzard, and the change of the weather got me sick. So I'm trying to cut the weight. I ended up getting a really bad fever, bro. It was crazy.
Damn.
I was in a sauna and shit. I was hallucinating because it was so bad. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
And then funny thing is like when at the weigh-in, you know when you grill each other and shit, he knew something was wrong. He's like, yeah, you up, right? he's like that way you up, and I was like, nah. I was like, yeah, I'm up. But he knew it, bro. He knew it. He was like, yeah, you up. I was like, yeah, I am. And I lie to you not, bro. Like after the first round, I don't know how that fight went. I was really out of it after that first round. Like I don't.
Your corner knew?
I went like total like blackout. I fought off of instinct. I swear, bro. Like that's one of the fights that I really can't recall. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Is CTE a thing?
CTE?
Is that even? I hear people say that stupid all the time.
Like the shit they diagnose a lot of retired
football players with
CTE.
Yeah, but you lose your memory, like you shit like that.
Yeah, I would say that the brain damage between football and boxing is
different.
Obviously, brain damage is brain damage, but I think it's different because I think like the football players become they're like very like they go like very psycho type shit.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like
it's just the aggression of the sport plus getting impact. Well, boxing is more you're more methodical, but it's like different.
I think because the impact of football is like a car wreck. It's like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's happened how many times?
And then those guys from the past, I don't know, the current guys were on like a lot of like drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta think about it. In boxing, you're wearing headgear when you're younger. So yeah, it helps out. But these kids are going heads up from like 8 years old all the way into their 30 something.
But I would say
that impact of getting
about you or anybody.
But I would say boxing is worse.
You think it's worse?
Yeah, because football is bang, right?
Yeah.
How many dudes go to the NFL? I mean, not a lot. But boxing, whether you're a high level or low level, you're
getting
so it don't matter, right? So, and if you're, let's say you got a 10-year career and most of your fights are 10, 12 round fights, and you're doing sparring.
That's
all your camps are at least an amount of 100 to 200 rounds of sparring. So if you add that in the average span of a career, which is 10, do 200 times that.
That's a lot.
It's thousands of times you got punched upside the head.
Yeah.
So it's a different impact. That's why, like, it's
a constant impact.
That's why you see a difference in like a retired fighter from when that's been in a lot of wars. How their speech is very different than how the football players are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the symptoms are different because of the impact. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And how was it? Well,
go ahead.
That one got kind of heavy.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, and it's not because.
But you know what I noticed though?
I think about it like that a lot.
Fighters that do have the brain trauma, tend to always still be in good spirits.
Yes.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like the football players just look
off.
Like
Nice.
You didn't want to say that shit.
What I'm saying is I feel like that impact just I don't know, man. I don't know what
it's different.
What makes it different, but you know what I'm saying?
No, it is because there's forget his name, but he's a sports commentator for like football. He's on Fox. I forget his name, but he was on he used to be on that show Ballers with The Rock.
Yeah.
But he started a program for retired like athletes and retired military. So you get out of the military and you go and you train.
Yeah.
And you do MMA, boxing, and you train with these retired fighters, and it's to help then transition from that. I forget the name. I want to think it up, but I forget the name. But it's a transition because they say it's similar because when you're coming back from war, you're used to being in charge. You're used to having a certain you're always on alert, right? The PTSD and all that. And then you have these retired athletes coming from that a different word, but like a different aspect of that. But they're still they're being a superstar. They're always their aggression. That CTE, their symptoms are different. They're more hyper alert. They're more aggressive. So by having them coming in them in training in boxing or jiu-jitsu and stuff like that helps them channel those anger, the issues into something different. Which is like pretty cool.
No, that's real talk. Because you know what I mean. Like, if you a professional fighter and you got 50-something fights and you had a long career, is like for real. Like, it really is war.
Facts.
Like it ain't no difference when you walking into the ring and you fighting a dude is in the best shape and he got 10-ounce gloves, bro. It's like anything can happen.
Yeah,
it really is a war, bro. And then it's not even counting the fight night is the sparring sessions. All the young dudes that want to make a name for themselves and be like, yo, I whooped on this dude in sparring.
I see that shit too.
Them young dudes ain't coming in to just like work. They coming in and they really trying to. You know what I mean? They try to make a name for themselves. So it's war, bro. So I could see, like, you know, retiring. You know what I mean? I could see how it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It really is, bro.
46 fights, right?
Yeah, 46.
Professional.
Yeah, 46, yeah.
Your speech is pretty intact, fool. You're all right.
And you
and you've been in some wars.
He gave you a good fucking buzz.
Cranium.
That's right.
Yo, but it's like, no, it's real talk, bro. It's like, is a blessing, honestly, because, you know, I see guys that didn't make it to the level of fighting that I did, and, you know, their speech is bad, and it's like, damn, man, it's crazy, man. But I think one of the things for me to help me was I did training camps with Bernard Hopkins, and my first training camp with him was when he fought Kawasaki. I was like 18 years old, and I did sparring sessions with him all the way up until he retired.
So that's
great.
I got to follow him and understand how he does camp. And one thing Bernard would always do, like, let's say when we finish sparring, I grabbed the rope one time and I'll start jumping rope. And he took the rope off of me. He said, after sparring, never jump rope. Because I was like, and he said, yo, you got to think about it. You getting hit upside the head.
And then you're jumping.
Now you're jumping. You're shaking your brain. He was like, let your brain rest.
That's correct.
And I was like, oh, snap. You know, so like after sparring, I wouldn't run no more. I wouldn't go for a run, or I wouldn't jump rope, because I always thought about that. And then he'd be like, "Yo, after a fight, like, don't go too crazy, don't celebrate, like, let your brain rest, like, stay in bed for a couple of days." And I'd be like, oh, "Okay." I just listen to those things, bro. And
that's valuable.
Yeah, it is, bro.
He's an alien for a reason, man. Like, you gotta follow those things.
Like, I remember he took the rope off me. Don't jump rope. You just sparred. I'm like, oh. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Nah.
So it's very important that you got to understand that you got to rest. And after sparring sessions, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Don't go. I see guys do sparring sessions and then they'll go and hit the bag for 10 rounds. Or they'll do a sparring session and then they go right into strength training. It's like chill. It's like your brain relax.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's valid information. That
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. He told me that when I was... Yeah, I mean, young. So I was like, I always caught on to that, bro. So
20 years ago.
Yeah, I always caught on to it,
that's
bro.
Dope.
So I never, there's certain things I just didn't do.
Shout out to B-Hop.
Yeah.
That's what I call looking out for someone.
For
like,
real.
That's looking out for you, for sure.
If you look at Bernard when he won his fight, see how much he celebrated. Bernard will always tell me, like, don't go crazy, even though I didn't listen to that part. When I knocked out back, I went crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, Yo, but he'd be like, yo, don't go too crazy. Don't celebrate, because he's like, you jump in, you acting like you're shaking your brain, bro. It's like, let your brain rest. Yeah.
I'm mad at it.
Yeah, man.
How was it training with Freddie Roach?
Freddie Roach. No, it was good, man. Like,
shout out to Freddie.
We had a good run, man. It was good training with Freddie, man. Freddie a G, bro. He's one of the last of the old school trainers, man.
Facts.
Yeah, one of the last, bro. So, I got nothing but love for Freddie. For sure, man.
Anything else you got for this wonderful gentleman?
Yeah, man.
No, man.
No, man, it was dope, though.
Yeah.
Bro.
Highly appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out.
Make sure you got anything you want to say before we clock out, my brother?
No, man. Make sure y'all. When is it dropping?
What's today? Thursday? Yeah, we ain't gonna drop this shit before Saturday.
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. Just pretty much, man. Just enjoying the commentating, man. And if I come back, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Yeah.
I'm for sure interviewing you again if you decide to come back.
Man, if that happens, we be in Puerto Rico at the fight.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, man.
That'd be fire.
No doubt.
Eat some arroz con andules.
Some coquito. I need some coquito.
Coquito.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just crazy.
Oh, they yeah.
This you make it?
I make it for this one. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's my grandma's recipe.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that's just crazy.
I know it.
Well, you know it.
Yeah.
You know
You get lit. You don't even know.
You're just alive, chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow the homie Gabe. His Instagram was at the beginning of this. Make sure you guys check out the Miguel podcast with him and Abner. Shout out to the homie. And Saturday we'll see you, my brother.
For sure, no doubt, bro.
Thank you so much for coming.
All right, no doubt.
Make sure you follow Mike. A ratos.
You're just a casual.